Why is it so hard to have a good teenage team of superheroes? The only good one I can think of is the same reason you clicked on this video. But I think I have a way to do it that makes sense. I think the major reason is that the teenage superhero team needs to be different from a team like the Avengers. It doesn't need to be so serious or so perfectly put together. So, let me introduce you to the teenagers. Wolf was the highest trained member of his pack, the best wolf soldier. Under the guise of the superhero Full Moon, he trained himself to peak human potential, training in every single form of weapon. And yet, at the final Moon trial, when he was supposed to kill his opponent, a boy he'd grown up with from birth, he refused to do it, turning his back on the rest of his pack. "What are you doing?" Full Moon said. "I won't do it," Wolf said. "I've taught you everything you know," Full Moon said. "I know. I'm sorry." Wolf tried to leave, and Full Moon got in front of him, standing with all of the power of 10 years more of training. An absolute specimen who taught Wolf everything he knew. He held Wolf out by his chest. "You're not going anywhere." Wolf easily blocked him and sighed. "Father, don't make me fight you. Just let me go." And Wolf left. Full Moon had tears in his eyes. "This isn't how this was supposed to go." "I know," Wolf said. And he went down the mountain towards civilization. When he got to human civilization, he didn't know what to do with himself. People looked at him strange for his wolf pelts and his mask, but he didn't pay them any mind. He had to find a place to exist in this society that was so different from everything he knew. How would he live? How would he be his own? "Help me!" somebody screamed. Wolf turned. He ran towards the cry of trouble with no concern for his own safety. A man was floating in the air, being choked. "Look at him squirm," a man said, holding him with telekinesis. Wolf didn't pay any mind. He threw a ninja star at the man, who reached out and blocked it with his telekinesis, turning towards Wolf. "Are you stupid or something?" He raised an eyebrow. Wolf took a step back. He was wearing a blood-stained superhero costume, and his expression was pure madness. "Nobody's ever tried to attack me before." Wolf screamed. He ran towards him. He knew that he was trained in every single fighting style. He had strength beyond a normal person, great agility. Wolf started choking. He started floating in front of the man in the superhero costume, pulling him closer and closer and closer. "Let me get this through your thick skull so you understand it." The man in the superhero costume smiled. "I might look like a superhero, but I'm a god. My name is the Choke. If you don't obey me, you die." And Wolf felt it. His throat was getting closed by telekinesis. All of his fighting styles, all of his training were completely worthless to fight this supervillain. The supervillain laughed. "Now dance like a monkey." And Wolf couldn't do anything. He was forced to dance, a crazy dance, powered by the telekinesis in the air. The Choke laughed, a sick laugh. Wolf saw the man that he had been choking earlier running down the alley, far away. But Choke didn't pay him any mind. "Look at you trying to be a superhero. Protect the innocent. Look how far that got you." The Choke smiled. "You know what? Just for fun, I'm gonna let you go. Why don't you come and fight me again? See how well you do. I'll be waiting." He sent Wolf flying through the alleyway. He smashed against the wall of the building, smashed against the wall of another building, and scraped against the pavement until his entire body was broken. Wolf woke up in a hospital. The doctor looked over his papers. "So, John Doe, what's your name? Do you have an identification? Wolf screamed. He jumped out of the hospital bed. His leg was broken. His arm was broken. He didn't care. He grit his teeth from the pain and started jumping down the hospital hallway, pushing past the doctor and the orderlies of the hospital. The alarm sounded, but Wolf was fast. He jumped out the window, managed to climb up a fire escape, and kept going, across rooftops, gritting his teeth in pain. He was supposed to be the strongest wolf warrior. How had this idiot beaten him? He had to figure out a way. He had to fight them. As Wolf slowly healed on the roof of a working-class building, a little boy found him. "Are you a superhero?" Wolf shook his head. "But I'm not from this world. Help me understand. There's a man that can do incredible things, lift people off the ground with his mind, torture him. Is he a superhero?" Wolf asked. The little boy smiled. "No, that's a supervillain. People who use their powers to hurt other people. A superhero would never do that." Wolf smiled. "Then I think I would like to be one of those superheroes." "Okay," the little boy sat across from him. "What's your power?" "I do not have a superpower. I train, I fight, Oh, so you're like a superhero with no powers. Wolf had trouble understanding, but he nodded. Do you want to come inside, mister? It's a little cold out here. The little boy had trouble explaining to his mom why a 7-foot-tall master warrior was at their front door, but after explaining for a bit, the mom agreed to have him sleep on their couch as he healed from his injuries. As Wolf healed, he learned about the world of superheroes, and he learned about the man that he fought. He's called the Choke, the little boy said. One of the most powerful villains in the city. He's even done battle with some pro heroes and won. But the thing is, he's kind of easily bored. He could easily take over the city, but instead he just prefers to use his abilities to hurt people and have fun. That does make sense, Wolf said, looking at the clips on the little boy's phone. He made me dance with telekinesis before he tortured me. That tracks, the little boy said. If I'm being honest, mister, you're gonna need some help if you want to take on the Choke. Help? Wolf said. I work alone. No, you're gonna need some serious help if you want to beat him. Somebody with superpowers. Wolf looked in the distance, then back at the little boy. Where could I find someone like this? The half-woman, half-beast screamed as everyone in the fighting cage cheered. Wolf watched the fight from amusement, and the woman went from half-woman, half-wolf back down to human form. Except the only problem was she was pink. Like, completely pink, her entire body. All right, fight fans, a guy sat in the middle of the cage. Does anyone else want to do battle with Feralia, mistress of the cage? Nobody in the crowd wanted to fight. The last superpowered person she had fought was going to the hospital. A guy that could conjure flames with his hands, but Feralia had easily beaten with her speed and strength, knocking him to the ground. Wolf raised his hand. Hey, what are you doing? The little boy said, hiding under Wolf's cape. You can't beat her. Are you crazy? But the announcer pointed at Wolf. You! Wolf stepped into the cage and smiled. He put his hand out towards Feralia, and when she looked at him, he took a step back. Even though she had pink skin and pink hair and had just turned into a beast of a woman, he felt something, a quickening of his heart. He had never really seen a woman his age before, and now, when he was looking into her eyes, he blushed. You are a superhero, Wolf said. Do you have to— Shut up, princess, Feralia said. Her hands turned into rhino hooves, and she hit Wolf in the face with a rhino punch. Wolf's training took over. He used the momentum of the punch to do a backflip, flipping off the edge of the cage and hitting Feralia, pushing her down towards the ground. I was trying to discuss something with you, Wolf said. You hit me, Feralia said. Her teeth turned into the teeth of a shark. You actually hit me! She bit towards him, but Wolf dodged easily. Hey, I need some help fighting this villain called the— Shut up! Feralia said. She kicked him in the stomach with gazelle legs, knocking him towards the roof of the cage, hitting it, and he slammed against the ground. Feralia stood over him. So you want to give up, hotness? Or do you— Wolf tapped into his inner strength. He pushed off of the ground and got into a fighting stance. Please, that didn't even hurt, Wolf said, smiling. His nose was bleeding, but when he looked into her eyes, he was excited. Yeah, that's my brother, the little boy said. Wolf smiled. Him and Feralia fought. She had an incredible ability to conjure animal parts on her body, but Wolf was able to use his superior speed and wolf strength to eventually best her, pushing her down onto the ground in a chokehold. Do you submit? Wolf said. Everybody in the fight crowd was shocked. Nobody had ever beaten Feralia before, but Feralia was still fighting. No! Her hair turned into snakes. The snakes bit down towards Wolf's arm, but he slammed her in the face with his elbow. Ow! Feralia said, looking at him in his eyes and blushing a little. You would really hit a girl like that? I have no issues hitting a woman, no matter how beautiful she is, Wolf said. Feralia blushed even harder, and finally the announcer called it. Okay, new challenger wins. What's your name, pal? He put his hand out. Wolf, Wolf said. The mighty Power Wolf! Everybody cheer! Everybody cheered for him, and he helped Feralia up to her feet. Listen, I'm forming a— He looked at the boy. Superhero team, the boy whispered. I'm forming a superhero team, and I would like you to join. No thanks, hotness. Feralia put her hand on Wolf's chest. I gotta earn a living out here, and If money is an issue, that's no problem, Wolf said. Full Moon had given him full access to the Pride's bank account before he left, and Wolf had no use for money. He handed her a platinum Amex card. Will this be sufficient? What's the limit on it? Feralia said. I have no idea, Wolf said. Yeah, sure. I quit. She punched the announcer in the face and walked out of the arena with Wolf. Is she your girlfriend? The little boy said. Wolf chuckled. I do not understand what girlfriend means, Wolf said. but she is incredibly beautiful, and I would like to mate with her. Feralia punched him in the stomach. Hey, we're teammates, okay? Wolf struggled out of the arena, laughing a little bit. I do not understand human women, Wolf said. I'll say, the little boy said. Feralia and Wolf trained together. Her abilities of converting animal parts to her body were absolutely incredible, and with Wolf training her with things like momentum and proper kicking, it got even better. But they knew they needed even more firepower if they were going to bring on the choke. Luckily, even more power came running straight at them. You will submit to the Prime! The incredibly handsome alien, pointing at them, was floating towards them with menacing grace. Wolf and Feralia had found him in another city. They said that he was terrorizing people and nobody could touch him because he had unbreakable skin. Calm down, Wolf said, from far below on the ground. Can you get me up there? He said to Feralia. She sprouted bird wings in her back and lifted him up towards the alien floating in the sky. You dare challenge Prime, the alien said. I'm not challenging you to a fight, Wolf said. He looked at the alien's hands, then up at him. You're a long way from home, aren't you? Wolf said. He saw something in Prime's face. A bit of recognition, sadness. You will die where you stand, Prime said. He shot 2 giant blasts of energy at Wolf and Feralia. Feralia panicked, dropping Wolf towards the ground and flying up over Prime. Wolf was falling, but he was a master of momentum. He pulled out a grappling hook and hooked Prime's foot. Prime looked down at the hook, then at Wolf, and smiled. You wish to ride the dragon? Well, don't let me stop you. Pride flew up towards the stratosphere. Wolf held on with everything that he had. Wolf, Feralia said. She tried to catch up with him with her bird wings, but it was too far away, too quick. Wolf's hands bled against his grappling hook. He wanted to work alone to fight the choke, but he knew now that if he let go, he would die. There was nothing his training could do to save him. He had to make a friend with this crazy alien. Please, Wolf said. I don't have any friends too. My entire tribe abandoned me. The alien started to slow down. He lifted Wolf up by his cape and looked him in the eyes. My tribe abandoned me too, Prime said. His eyes glowed with dark energy. They did it because they're pacifists, while I fight. Wolf smirked a little. Well, we fight every day in training. He elbowed Prime in the face. Prime was so shocked that he had hit him that he dropped Wolf, sending him flying down towards the ground. But Wolf was laughing. Prime flew towards him, punching at him with super strength, but Wolf was able to use his momentum to grab onto Prime's arm, knocking them off balance, sending them careening towards the ground, right towards Feralia, who was flying up to meet them. Wolf! Feralia said. They crashed into her, and they were all falling now, in free fall. Feralia was knocked unconscious. Wolf panicked. He turned towards Prime. Please, he said. If you just save our lives, we'll let you go. Prime looked at him. His eyes glowed with energy. So you admit that I defeat you? He laughed a little. Pathetic human. I will... Yes, we admit you defeat us. Just please save us, Wolf said. Prime smiled. He grabbed both of them and flew down towards the ground, landing safely in the middle of the city. That was incredible, the boy said, snapping a picture. The Teenagers has a new member. The Teenagers? Wolf said, looking at the little boy. Yeah, it's your superhero name. Teenagers. Wolf looked at Prime and Feralia. How old are you guys? I'm 16, Feralia said, touching the back of her neck. I have 17 new moons as well, Wolf said, smiling. He turned towards Prime. How old are you? I was gestated in a lab. I am what you call 3 years old. The little boy started laughing. 3? I'm older than that. Wolf smiled. That's all right. He looked at Prime in the eyes. I don't understand the conventions of this world either, but I was cast out of my tribe, and now what I want to do is help. I know that you're the strongest. He looked at the ground, then up at Prime. I know that you're incredibly strong, but how many friends on this world do you have, Prime? Prime looked sad, then up at Wolf. None. No, Wolf said. He put his hand out, smiling. You have 1 friend. Feralia put her hand out as well. 2, she smiled. Wolf couldn't make it out, but he saw the alien blushing a little when he looked at Feralia. He felt anger in his stomach, but he tried to push it down. 3 friends, the little boy said. I'm a member of the Teenagers too. You're a child, Wolf said. You cannot fight in battle. I think that a child is fine to fight in battle, Prime said. No, Wolf and Feralia said. Prime shook his head and laughed a little. I do like these Earth friendships you talk about. Fine, I will be a member of your little Teenagers. even though I am only 3 years old. Wolf, Feralia, and Prime found Choke standing at the top of a building, torturing people for fun. Bow down to the Choke, the Choke said. Everybody is my slave. I will teach them all to bow down to now, Wolf said. Feralia jumped out of nowhere, sprouting bird wings and kicking down with rhino feet towards the Choke. She smacked him in the face, breaking every single bone in his face. Choke screamed. Prime flew down from the sky like a god and shot 2 giant blasts of energy at the Choke. One of them singed the Choke's shoulder, and the other one burned his leg with an incredible amount of pain. Finally, Wolf jumped off of Prime's back and smashed down with his staff, hitting the Choke in the face, knocking him off balance. The Choke started floating down off the building. Ugh, the Choke said. All of the victims at the top of the building were confused, dazed. The Choke had been torturing them for days. Wolf pointed at the roof door. Go to safety, now! And then he jumped off the building, going down towards where the Choke was, with no regard for his safety. Feralia and Prime were both beating at the Choke, jumping out of nowhere with their flight, and then attacking. Prime was using his super strength to beat the Choke over and over. Even though the Choke had incredibly powerful telekinesis, he was just a human. They could win this fight, right? Right? All of the air went out of Choke's lungs. You idiots, Choke said. Feralia, Prime, and Wolf were all forced to face the Choke as he floated in the air. Even though he was incredibly hurt, the Choke was laughing at them. You think that you could just form a little team and fight a god? The Choke said. I should kill you all where you stand. He twisted his hand. Every single bone in Wolf's arms and legs broke. He screamed in pain. You got some friends? What friends? He looked at Feralia. A freak? And he looked at Prime. And an alien piece of trash. He broke their arms and legs too. They screamed out in pain. The Choke bled down, floating above them. Do you know how easy it would be for me to break your necks right now? He chuckled a little bit. Do you know why all the superheroes leave me alone? It's because I don't care enough to do any real damage. But if anybody messes with me, I will kill them where they stand. Understand that, Wolfie boy? Wolf was in so much pain. He was blacking out. He used his meditation techniques that he learned, but it was fading fast. This villain would kill him right where he stood. But the Choke just laughed. You know what? I haven't fought superheroes in a long time. Get as many team members as you want. Meet me the day after tomorrow. Then I'll kill you for real. Okay? The Choke said. Wolf had no choice. He couldn't even speak to agree because the Choke's telekinesis had kept him completely captivated. The Choke let them go, dropping them towards the ground. Even though they had flyers, Feralia and Prime were badly hurt. Please, Wolf said as they accelerated faster and faster towards the ground. Feralia tried to form animal parts, but the new animal parts she formed were broken. Wolf! She screamed. Prime's eyes glowed. He formed a field of energy around Wolf and Feralia. My people are pacifists, Prime said. The best healers in the galaxy. I swore I would not use their abilities, but I must, Prime said. Wolf's arms knit back together perfectly, his legs together perfectly. Feralia was healed too. Prime grabbed Feralia by her waist and Wolf by his cape and pulled them up to safety. They looked up at Prime. Wolf grit his teeth. Okay, we can form a counterattack if we... Are you crazy? Feralia said. He was right. He could have killed us in a second. It is true, Prime said. My abilities are not strong enough. Wolf nodded. Okay, we need to find some more people. The psychic shop was incredibly dark, even in the middle of the day. It had beautiful, ornate decorations, but it seemed like it was in the middle of the night, even though it was the daytime. Are you sure this is the place? Wolf said. Yeah, Feralia said. He's in there. Prime landed and looked at Wolf. I will go in and talk to this sorcerer. Give me 1 second and I will convince him to be a member of our team. Wolf tried to speak up. I don't think that's a good idea, bro. You've just been on this planet for a couple weeks and... No, Prime said. I will do it. He went into the dark shop. Feralia and Wolf stood next to each other, looking at it. I hope he's okay, Feralia said. Listen, Wolf said. Before Tommy... Who's Tommy? Feralia said. The little boy. Oh. Before Tommy went back to school, he told me that my comments about mating with you were a bit much, and I wanted to apologize. Wolf looked down at the ground, then up at Feralia. I must admit I do find you quite beautiful. And he touched her arm. Your abilities allure me. Many men do not like a strong woman, but he smiled a bit, only want to be with a strong woman. I know that Earth customs are a bit difficult, but Feralia smiled and kissed him on the cheek. She held his hand and looked at him in his eyes. Her eyes were pink, beautiful. You're such a loser, Feralia said. Yeah, okay. We can go on a date or something. Wolf smiled. What would you like to do for a date? Hunt? Feralia chuckled. I think we should go see a movie. Have you ever seen a movie before? Wolf shook his head. Okay, we'll do that when we get over this. They looked at the dark psychic shop. I'll go in, Feralia said. You can stay here. No, Wolf said. He held her hand. I'll go in with you. As they both went into the psychic shop, they realized something. It was full of wax figures. And beyond it, they weren't just wax figures of celebrities like a normal wax museum. No, there was a wax figure of Prime. And there was a wax figure of Feralia. And there in the back of the psychic shop was a young man working on a bust of Wolf's face. So you're here to fight, the young guy said. My name's Son of Darkness. I can kill you if you want, or whatever. I can just turn you into wax, whatever you want. No, Wolf said. Forgive us. We were here to invite you to join our superhero team, but our friend, where is our friend? If you just give our friend to us, we will leave. Son of Darkness looked at Wolf. You're friends with that alien? That alien tried to beat me up and then got annoyed when I put him into the shadows. Into the shadows? Wolf said. Yeah, where you're gonna go, Son of Darkness said. He waved his hand. Feralia screamed as shadow arms reached out of nowhere and pulled her into her own shadow. Feralia, Wolf said. He tried to jump after her, but he just knocked against the floor. He turned, facing Son of Darkness. You are not a hero. He got ready for a fight. You're a villain. Son of Darkness smiled. Yeah, I mean, one I want to be. Wolf jumped at him with all of his speed. He managed to make it halfway across the psychic's room when Son of Darkness snapped his fingers and Wolf was pulled into the shadows. The shadows were cold. So cold. Wolf was surrounded by shifting figures, but it was so dark that he couldn't see anything. Feralia! Wolf screamed. Prime! But nobody answered him. He tried to make out people in the shifting shadows, but he couldn't hear it. You really shouldn't have let me pull you into the shadows, Son of Darkness's voice reverberated. Because this is my world. And Son of Darkness's face appeared, as big as the sun, filling the entire sky of the realm. And now, you're my toys. Wolf tried to fight back, but there was nothing he could do. The shadowy hands were pulling him apart, ripping his body apart. Son of Darkness watched the hands pull him apart, with no expression. You're just gonna kill me? Wolf said. I didn't do anything to you. Son of Darkness shrugged. Whatever. It's part of the fun. Please, Wolf said. Just let us go. I am a great warrior, but I admit you defeat me. Please. The shadowy hands put Wolf's body back together, and Son of Darkness sat on the shifting mass, looking at Wolf in the eyes. Why do you care so much? He said. We're all just dust to dust anyway. Death is an inescapable fact. People are either too stupid or too depressed to do anything otherwise. I've never understood why you... He snapped his fingers. Suddenly, Feralia and Prime were both sitting next to Wolf, looking at Son of Darkness. Why you superhero types even try at all? I wasn't a superhero until recently, Feralia said. She put her hand out and held Wolf's hand. He told me that I could be better. Better than just fighting people for money. Also, he gave me his Amex. Oh, you're paying people? Son of Darkness snapped his fingers. Can you give me an Amex? I'm broke. Wolf looked between Feralia and Son of Darkness. If you want to share the Amex, that's totally fine, Wolf said. Oh, sweet, Son of Darkness said. Let's go. I'll join your superhero team. Prime looked between the three of them. You humans care so much about dollar bills. I can't believe it. Despicable. You can get an Amex too if you want, Wolf said. Yay, Prime said. The four of them stood at the top of the building, looking down at the choke as he tortured random people that he found on the street. Why hasn't anyone intervened? Prime said. I don't know, Wolf said. Maybe it's because of what he said, that he's too strong for the smaller heroes, and he's not doing enough for the bigger heroes to intervene. Well, we're big heroes, Wolf said, smiling, looking between the three of them. Yeah, I mean, Son of Darkness said. I'm pretty sure that I can throw him into the shadows, but what then? The shadows are connected to my psyche, and to be honest, I don't have a lot of firepower. He looked down at the choke, torturing people and laughing. If he gets my body before the rest of you, we're done. Wolf looked between the three of them. They were so strong, and yet He remembered the feeling of every bone in his arm breaking. He remembered the choke being so incredibly amused by the fact that a superhero team would fight him. "We need more firepower," Wolf said. "Anyone have any leads?" "I've got something," Son of Darkness said. "She's kind of my, ex-girlfriend." The sewers were disgusting as the four of them walked through it. "This place is disgusting," Wolf said. "Human refuse deserves to be buried in the middle of the woods, not—" "Ew," Feralia said. "Why does your ex-girlfriend live in a sewer?" she asked. "Oh, I don't know. I think it's kind of punk rock," Son of Darkness said. "I think it's absolutely delicious," Prime said, shoveling the sewer's poop into his mouth. "No!" everybody screamed. Finally, the sewer started to change as they walked deeper and deeper into it. Circuits on the walls, electrical circuits of the city turning into a hum of electricity. "She lives over here," Son of Darkness said. "Oh, and, we kind of ended on bad terms, so just watch out." "What did you do?" Feralia said, raising an eyebrow, looking at Son of Darkness. "I kind of cheated on her." "What?" Feralia said. Wolf looked between the two of them, but Prime started to shovel poop into his mouth again, so he had to go stop him. "Come on, stay focused," Wolf said. He dragged all of them into the room that had the most circuits of all, and sitting in between all of them was a beautiful half-woman, half-cyborg. "What are you doing here, asshole?" she said. "Hey, Cyber Girl," Son of Darkness said. "So I was thinking, and I thought that I should maybe apologize." "Apologize?" Cybergirl said. From her body, 3 giant rocket launchers came out, firing straight at Son of Darkness. "Ah!" Son of Darkness said. He jumped into a shadow, but the 3 of them were still standing there, and the rockets were going straight towards them. "Jump to safety!" Wolf said. He dove down, but the rockets were so powerful, he would die in a second. "Mine!" Prime said. He stepped in front of all of them and used his indestructible skin to block the rockets. Cybergirl shot electricity at Prime, but Prime grabbed her by the arms and ripped her rocket-launching arms off her body. "That's enough!" Prime said. "Oh yeah?" Cybergirl said. 2 new arms sprouted out of her back, and one of them choked Prime while the other punched him in the face with a super strong punch. Prime crumpled to the ground and Wolf jumped over him, swiping down with his staff. Cybergirl easily blocked it and shocked Wolf with electricity. It hurt so incredibly bad. "Listen," Wolf said, "we're trying to get you to join us." "Join you?" Cybergirl said. "I'd rather," but Feralia screamed. She sprouted bat wings, jumped down from the ceiling, and kicked Cybergirl in the face, knocking her completely unconscious. "Oh great," Wolf said, turning to Feralia. "You killed her." "She's not dead," Son of Darkness said, feeling at her pulse. "God, she looks so beautiful when she sleeps." "Wait a second," Feralia said. "You dated a half-robot?" "Yeah, ever tried it before?" Son of Darkness said. "It's pretty hot." Cybergirl woke up. Prime had healed the human parts of her, and Son of Darkness knew how to repair her technology. "Listen," Wolf said. "I'm really sorry that we came in here. We'd like to leave you alone." "I think that would be best," Cybergirl said. She looked at Feralia. "You're really pretty, by the way." Feralia blushed. "Thank you." "Yeah," Cybergirl said. She touched the back of her neck. "Don't let anybody make you feel bad because you look different." Feralia smiled. "You're beautiful, too." Prime chuckled. "And you live in a delicious place." "Delicious?" Cybergirl said, raising an eyebrow. She looked at Wolf. "Why did you try to get me to join anyway? It seems like you guys are already a superhero team." Wolf looked down at the ground, then looked at her in the eyes. "It's because of the choke." "The choke," Cybergirl said. "Say no more. I'm joining you guys." "Really?" Wolf said. "The choke thinks that humans are just toys for him to play with. She looked down at the ground and started crying a little bit. "He broke me because it was fun to him, and he left me to die on a sidewalk. If the machines hadn't found me and pulled me into a sewer, I would have been dead." Tears started to well up. Son of Darkness nodded. "If you had told me you were fighting against that guy, I would have joined you for free." He wrapped a designer coat around his shoulders. "Thank you for the fashion, though. I appreciate it." Wolf put his hand up. "Are you willing to help us take him down?" "Yeah," Cybergirl said. She looked at Son of Darkness. "Just keep him far away from me." "Done," Wolf said. "If he ever gets close to you, I'll knock him into the Shadow Realm." She chuckled a little bit. "Great." The choke was waiting for them on the top of the building when they were waiting to meet him. "Aw, look at you," the choke said. "You got a whole little team. Is that Cybergirl?" He chuckled a little bit. "I remember you when you were human. Isn't that—" "Shut up," Cybergirl said. They landed on the top of the building. It was night. The choke's costume was covered in blood. "I admit that you guys have a lot of balls coming up here, but To be honest, it's futile. He waved his hands. Now, Wolf said. Even though their bones broke, Prime put healing energy out and healed them instantly. The choke raised an eyebrow, but it was too late. Cybergirl launched a rocket right at his face. He barely managed to redirect it when Prime punched him in the chest with super strength, breaking every one of his ribs. Ugh, the choke said. Feralia raked his back down with tiger claws and choked him around the neck with a gorilla's arm. Get him, she screamed. Son of Darkness pulled the choke down into the portal. No, the choke screamed. He pulled himself out of Son of Darkness's portal. Oh crap, Son of Darkness said, and the choke waved his arm, smashing Son of Darkness against the wall of the building. It was Wolf's turn. He jumped over Son of Darkness and swung down with his staff. The other ones I get, the choke said. He held Wolf. But you don't even have powers. It's honestly insulting that you even fight me. Wolf smiled. He opened his mouth and spit out a ninja star right into the choke's face. Ah! The choke said. He couldn't see because the blood was running down his face. No, Darkness, Wolf said, but Son of Darkness was knocked unconscious. He's out, Feralia said. I got this, Cybergirl said. She created 2 giant mechanistic arms from her back, made out of wires and circuits and machinery. You think you can rip me apart, asshole? She grabbed Choke by the head so he couldn't see. Your powers are connected to your eyes, right? No eyes, no telekinesis. She punched him over and over with a mechanistic arm, and Wolf could see that the Choke's body was breaking apart, and yet his hand was moving. Why was the Choke's hand moving? Cybergirl! Wolf screamed, but it was too late. Every aspect of her machine part ripped apart in telekinesis, holding her apart in stasis. Her machine was barely running. Prime screamed in rage. He punched towards the Choke, but the Choke flicked his hand. Prime was also captured in telekinesis. Wolf, I'm sorry, Prime said. Feralia started crying, looking at Son of Darkness. He's dying, Wolf! And Wolf knew that he had to stop him, once and for all. He tapped into his inner strength, the strength that he had trained for all these years, and he jumped off of Prime's back, grabbing onto the Choke. The Choke screamed, but Wolf had him in a chokehold around his neck. He couldn't see him, and so he couldn't use telekinesis on him. I used to be like you know, Wolf said, beating him over and over, breaking his eyes, breaking his orbital bones in his face, over and over. You're an insect! An insect! The Choke said. I used to think that I didn't need friends too. But you know what? Wolf said, laughing. As soon as I got friends, you weren't a threat to me, Wolf said. You were nothing. And Wolf finally stuck his hand club into the Choke's eye as it crashed into a building. Wolf? Feralia said. Wolf opened his eyes to see Feralia, Prime, Cybergirl, and a heavily beaten up, but still alive, Son of Darkness standing over him. Where is he? Wolf screamed. He's gone. Feralia smiled. We won. And Wolf started smiling, laughing with everything that he had. I'm telling you, Mom, they're a real superhero team, Tommy said. That's nice, honey, his mom said as she made dinner. But Mr. Wolf is gone. I don't think that he's coming back. They are gonna come back, Tommy said. I promise. The doorbell rang. Now who could that be? Tommy's mom said. She moved towards the door and opened it. Wolf was there, with Prime, Feralia, Son of Darkness, and Cybergirl. He smiled a big smile. Mrs. Ramos, I'm here to thank you for hosting me all this time. My friends and I brought dinner. He held up 4 pizzas and smiled. Would you mind if we joined you for dinner? And Tommy's mom stepped aside, looking at Tommy with absolute disbelief. I told you, Mom! He ran and hugged Wolf, looking at every member of his team. So what's your superhero team name called? Wolf smiled. You named us yourself. The Teenagers.